We've got some grandkids here. They've raised Frenchies. You coming in here too? So we've been away for the last 3 weeks. We've been in Europe, so we haven't done live the last 3 Sundays. I apologize for that. So we'll see how many people are still interested in talking to us. We thought we'd make this one about, hold a puppy up there. Puppies are 4 weeks to ready to go home, because we're facing that situation right now. So let's see if anybody wants to talk to us. So this is Mackie. Say hi, Mackie.
Hi.
Oh, Daniel Hall's here. He says, missed you. Well, thank you. Debo says there were 4 pups. Why are there only 2 now? There's 3 pups, actually. There's 3 pups in the kit litter. We did lose a puppy right from the very beginning. We had a puppy that got in trouble right away, and so that's why there's 3. So that puppy made it to about, it was a very small, weak puppy. Unfortunately, we incubated her and tube fed. It was doing okay for a bit, but it was never gaining weight, one of those bad situations. And so that puppy didn't make it. And so we've got 3 very healthy puppies. There's one of them right there. They're really doing great. So these puppies are just really, it looks like Yoda right now. Get your ears up, he's doing a little thing. Anyway, so that's it. So there's 3. So I thought we'd try to make this one about puppies, getting puppies weaned off mum, getting puppies so they've got their shots, getting wormings done, getting your advertising organized, getting puppies ready for going to their new homes, all those kind of things. So people got questions about those. Gentle Giants joined us, said, hello James, missed you, and Tammy. Good, well Tammy will be with us in a few minutes. That's Aaliyah back there. So these guys are our daughter's kiddos, they're twins. And you guys, what, 17 and a half now?
Yes. Yep.
So they're driving age, it's scary. If you see them driving around, pull over to the side.
Watch out.
Yeah. Right, so let's talk about for a moment here about what we've been doing. Well, of course, we've been gone for 3 weeks, so Chanel, our daughter, has been staying in our house and doing a great job looking after puppies, which makes, it's been a very easy litter, but it's very nice when you've got somebody that you can fall back on when you want to go somewhere, because most of the time when we have puppies, we're on deck for basically 2 months, where you can't really go anywhere substantial because you've got to be around all the time. So we're at the point now that these puppies are completely okay by themselves most of the day. We just need to let mum go out and pee and poop 3-4 times a day. Fresh food and water in the morning. They get 2 feedings, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. That seems to work well. Now, Kit, this is her last litter. She's had 3 litters, and it's time for her to call it quits. She's a great mom, and it's kind of, I'm torn between this. I'd like to have another litter, but I think it's the right thing to do, because she's been such a great mom, she's been such a wonderful dog. I want her health to stay that way, so we can enjoy her as a family dog. So that's what she's going to become. So, and also this time, she's had a little bit of hair loss. She's had some blown her coat a bit. You can see that she's an older dog. She'd be with her puppies until they leave, and that's what she's done in the past, but we're not going to do that to her this time. So we are going to go through the weaning process starting now. So how are we going to do that? Well, the way we do it is we either put mum and babies together at night only and then separate them during the daytime. I think we're going to do this a bit differently. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put mum up where she's away from her babies at night so she can get some rest. And then we're going to bring her in with her babies 8, 9, 10 o'clock after they've had their first meal. And then we'll see how mum gets on, because we want her to dry up. If you go, so we'd like to see some of the dogs. Yep, see, where's Aaliyah at? Hey, Aaliyah.
I think she went outside.
Did she? Okay, yeah, we will bring some dogs up here.
Do you want me to go get her?
Sure, yeah. Let me have that one there so we don't drop one. And then bring 2 more.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now, these guys are, about a week ago, they were starting to eat off mum's bowl. And now they just gobble it down. So they're still attacking mum, they're still getting milk from mum, but you can see that mum is starting to dry up. So I think here in a few days, we'll probably get to the point where we can probably take mum away completely. As long as mum's okay with that, as long as she's not having to sit over it, we can get her weaned. So here's 2 more. There they are. So this is the little girl. she's going to Fort Worth. This little boy right here, he is going to Prague, Oklahoma. And then this little boy here is still available. And these are all, Kit, of course, is the mum. Gobstopper is our Isabella Full Fluffy. New Shade is the dad. So these guys are all sables, which means they're AYAT. They don't carry brindle, you know that because they're basically fawns. They all carry blue, they all carry cocoa, they all carry testable chocolate, and they all carry fluffy and not brindle. And this guy here actually carries a copy of Pied. That boy doesn't. And you know, some people don't like Pied. I actually like Pied because you can completely control the Pied gene. If you put a dog that is a Pied carrier like this boy right here with another Pied, then you get a litter of 1/4 Pieds. Excuse me, 1/2 Pieds. If you put him with a Pied carrier, you get 1/4 Pieds. If you put him with a non-Pied dog, non-Pied girl, you wouldn't get any Pieds at all. So you can completely control it. So what's the DNA for a sable? The DNA for a sable is AYAT. And what that does is you can see it really well here. You can see the shading above the eyes. So if this was a tan-pointed dog, then you would see a really marked difference in color. In fact, if it was a fawn, 80-80 dog, that would be actually a black and tan. So it would be black with tan points, and it would have a black back end, and you can see that we've got a white back end. You see we've got a white back end, and it would have white above its eyes. So the sable doesn't produce a black and tan, it's AYAT, it produces sable. If it was an AYAY, it'd be a solid fawn dog. So it would be this color all over. And by the way, mum is a Euro hero, and what makes a Euro hero? You've got to have a copy of cream and masters. So none of these are Euro heroes because they're all masked. They've all got a copy of mask. Two of them have got 2 copies of mask, EM. This little boy here has got 1 copy of mask and 1 copy of cream, but he still looks totally masked. So it's interesting how this works. So not Euro heroes. I'd like to see a Euro hero in it, but we really didn't have the right dad to produce Euro heroes. So Don, Don't Complain campaign says, would you recommend Be Strong if a female is 30 days late on a cycle? Can't hurt, but I'm not a big fan of this stuff. I mean, here's the reason why. I think this is mostly snake oil. I really do. I think that the only things that I know that will bring a dog in, number one, the safest way that really works is to put a dog with another dog that's in heat. That really works. Completely safe, can't go wrong. Now, there are products like PG600, it's an injectable, it's designed for pigs, it's a French Bulldog. If you go buy that on a Revival, I think it's about $100 for a bottle of it. You'll see there's a lot of people commenting they're using it on Frenchies. In fact, all the people are commenting are all Frenchy people. I have bought it, I didn't use it. I had a customer whose dog didn't come into heat. I had a dog that wasn't coming into heat, and the dog was 2.5 years old, and I was going to use it on my dog, and I decided not to. And right at that time, I had a customer whose dog hadn't come into heat for some time. He wanted to try it, so we gave it to that dog. And we did successfully breed the dog. We got a small litter out of it. So I'm not a big fan. Look, if you use Be Strong, nothing bad's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to do any good. I mean, this one was a fun one. So I don't think you do any harm with it, but I don't think it's going to do any good. But hey, I may be wrong. How would you know, right? How would you know? So George Rodriguez says, well, somebody says, well, let's say, but I already answered that. George Rodriguez says, at any point on mum drying out, are there any concerns or chances of getting mastitis? Well, that's right. So that's one of the things. Typically, what happens is mastitis is typically something that happens when dogs are, a few days into, a week or two into their whelp, not when they're 4, 5, 6 weeks in, because at that point, they tend to be drying up anyway. But anytime that you've got a lactating mum, you need to check things at least every few days, the beginning every day, and make sure you're not getting an inflamed, large, hard boob, because if you are, it's mastitis, you need to get on the ball quickly. If you don't, it can really be a shitstorm. I mean, you can have a dog that can die over it. So will we have this problem with Kit? Almost certainly not, but we're going to pay attention to it. Ernesto, patron, has joined us. Good. Hey, those of you who haven't hit the thumbs up button, I don't have any thumbs up at all. I've got 6, excuse me. I've got 6. give us a thumbs up. It doesn't cost anything and it helps us out. So we really appreciate a thumbs up. Ernesto says, hey James, I have two litters due on July the 4th. Today is day 50. And I'm a deworming with Safeguard. My question is, do I only give her one dose or do I give it to her for 3 days in a row? You always use Safeguard 3 days in a row, always. So we typically do it just like you're doing it, a day 50, day 51, day 52, so it's 3 times. So basically ending up a week before whelp, and then we start the whole process up again 7 days after whelp, 8 days after whelp, 9 days after whelp. So she gets 3 doses twice, basically a week either side of whelp. And why don't you give that to the puppies? Because it's a little bit rough on puppies. It's recommended that you give that to puppies when they're 6 weeks old. And instead, what you do is you give the puppies Nemex 2 or parental Payomate, and you give that to them when they're 2 weeks and 4 weeks. That's a single dose of that. You just can't get happy here, can you? Why don't I trade with you?
Here, you take this other boy.
All right.
He
wants attention. I get this one over here.
He's a little bit calm.
All righty. Okay, see if he likes it better. Good, okay. Fluffy, furry Frenchies, how do you get velvet? Well, we just had a litter with a velvet in it. And how we got that is we bred to a velvet big rope stud. And so when you do that, if you have a velvet dog and you breed that dog to a non-velvet, typically you'll get half a litter of velvets. So it's kind of a different look, kind of this wrinkly, more Shar-Pei look is what's going on with this. And that dog was also a big rope. We don't have a velvet stud. We do have a big rope stud. We didn't use our stud for this. That was actually a breeding I did with a friend of mine in Atlanta who's got a dog that I co-own. He wanted to do the velvet, and we did. And it was a beautiful puppy. But we didn't get a big litter, and it wasn't, it was an expensive breeding. And so it wasn't, financially it wasn't like super duper, but it was fun and different. So that's how you get a velvet. And it's also the way that you get a big rope. Big rope, put a big rope with a non-big rope. Half litters are going to have big ropes or varying degrees of ropiness on their nose. Jessica Barber says, will you be posting pictures of your new studs on My Breeder Supply? Yes. In fact, Cody uses some people out of Denver who do all the photography. And I think they're supposed to come down and do that in the next week. And so very quickly after that, he will post all these new studs. So he's got 4 new studs. He's got some really nice. He's got a Rojo Fluffy. He's got Gobstopper, who's the daddy for this boy right here, who is a new shade Isabella Fluffy. He's got a Rojo. He's got a big rope Fluffy. He's got Gobstopper, who's an Isabella new shade. He's got one more. I don't remember. He grew that one. The other 3 he got from other people. So Debbie says, gives a thumbs up so we can see your dogs. Yeah, well, this is it. So this is it. 3 puppies. One's available. That guy right there. And he can produce blues. He can produce Rojos. He can produce chocolates. He can produce lilacs. He can produce new shades. He can produce pieds. He can produce fawns. He can produce black and tans. So he's got a lot of things he can make. Thierry Sonna says, can you register a Merle online? Yeah, you can. So remember, any of these dogs, typically the dogs a lot of you are messing around with, and the dogs that Tammy and I are producing, are non-standard. Hey, look at that, there's Tammy. You coming in here, Tammy, too? Non-standard colors. Blue tans, black and tans, chocolate tans, lilacs, blues, fluffies, big ropes. All of these dogs are not AKC showroom available. They can all get AKC status. Now, in Europe, it's different. I don't think you can get a Merle on the United Kennel Club. I don't think they'll let you have a Merle. But in America, and the AKC, not a problem at all. We've been doing this for years, so no problem at all. There is not a place on the form to tick off that says Merle. So if you're looking for that, you won't find it. You have to put it something else. And if it's a brindle dog, we put brindle down, but we don't ever have any brindles, so we just put a fawn down there. You can get a blue dog with a blue on this registration. I believe that's maybe in there now as a grey. Certainly you can send a picture off, I think, to get it done. No. No. Especially Tammy Connie. Tammy's got to move the camera around. We've got to get organised here. You can have, that's not your phone, you can have that. That's your phone.
Yeah, that's my phone.
Alright, there.
Do you want my mic?
Yeah, let's trade you over. Say goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
But she can stay. Thanks, Mackie. So Mackie knows quite a bit about dogs too. It's like Mackie's been around dogs since she's a little bitty girl.
Chelsea raised
Yeah.
a while, and
She did.
Mackie and them all had their taste in taking
So
care of the
I was just
babies.
talking to Mackie before we started off. I said, "What do you remember about raising dogs?" She said it was hard work.
There you go.
That's true. I mean,
It is. It's rewarding work in more ways than one.
yeah, that's right.
Ooh, your light is bright, James. I need my sunshades on.
Rachel Brooks is here, and she says, "Hello, y'all." Hello, Rachel. Good to see you here.
Y'all,
Yo, and we've got 16 thumbs up. Give us more thumbs up. We want thumbs up. Give us thumbs up.
did you set me up?
Let's just get Tammy set up. Go there.
You were supposed to do that a while ago.
Type in, there you go. Go right there. There you are. You're up and running. Stop now. Get out of that. And there you go. There's your text.
There's my chat.
Yeah. Oh, puppy's eating my mic.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Puppy took my mic away.
Okay.
What happened to my mic?
Is it in your shirt?
I don't know.
Don't take your shirt off, please.
Hold on a second. We've got a mic emergency.
Why
I
don't
think
you
the
just
dog ate
stand
it.
up? No. Just stand up.
There it is.
Okay.
it?
Yeah.
Oh. I had beans for lunch, so luckily I didn't get that happening. All right, back up and running.
Yeah.
All right. So
There you go.
let's go back to the questions. All right, so good to have you here, Tammy. So Tammy, how was Europe?
It was fun. I got my Italy shirt on. Isn't it pretty? Yeah, it was very pretty. All the bougainvilleas are beautiful, and other flowers.
Oh
and,
yeah, and all the the buildings
oh,
are
the
phenomenal.
water.
And the water's pretty, and
The
we went.
landscaping is
Yes.
is just unreal on how those. Of course, they're sitting on rock, but they're right at the very edge. But it was pretty. It was fun. Saw some Frenchies over there.
My French to Texas says, "Where's Granny Mim?"
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm here.
she's there.
Yeah, yeah.
Fluffy, furry Frenchie said, "Would you need a short hair and a velvet?" Yes. A short hair and a velvet is going to produce a litter of some velvets. That's what
Half
we
and
do.
half, right?
I think, well,
Does it work that way too?
I think so. We don't have a lot of experience
I
with
know
this,
on
but yes.
big rope, it's you just need one carrier of
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
So,
Right. Well, one,
but you only get like one or two in the group.
well, I think it's
probably.
50-50, right?
No, just
Rachel Brooks says muffled a bit. Well, that's because I was sitting on the microphone, Rachel. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. George Rodriguez says, what brands of extenders for shipping or AI do you recommend, or have you had best results with? Well, so I do know a lot about this because we, of course, My Breeder Supply, we sell these things. And I've tested, I can tell you, 15 extenders, and I've tested 10 extenders against each other, in a proper test to find out which ones work best. The one that we used to sell was, I remember it because it's been a while now, is, good Lord, I've gone completely blank.
dunk.
Yeah. Well, Hoatech
ask me, 'cause-
Hoatech's the one we're selling now. Why are we selling that one? Because it's a 10-day extender. It's actually a little bit longer than 10 days. You don't have to put it in the freezer. You store it refrigerated. It's completely clear, so there's no clumping that goes on in some of these other extenders, and it works incredibly well. Cana, the one before that was Cana Plus, was the one that we was sold before that, and Hoatech came up after that, and we tested that and found it was slightly better. It was also a little bit less expensive, and so for that reason, we wouldn't go with the less expensive extender. We'd only go with the better extender, and the answer is the Hoatech is better extender. When do we use that? On all shipments. Also, if you've got a breeding where you've got a dog that's not producing much quantity, then to extend it with some extender and get more volume to work with is a good plan. And I've got my sister listening, and she says, I think the puppy is sitting on your mic. Yes. I think we're past that now.
Yeah, we're past that one.
Oh, somebody else down the hall says the puppy is making the mic scratchy. Damn puppy. Don't
Yeah.
do that, puppy.
Wasn't his fault.
Right.
It was
Right.
that one's fault.
Yes.
Armani is what his mama named him. This guy's available. I'm sure y'all already discussed it.
Well, here's a great question. Nacho Line says, when can I leave my puppies alone so I can go
put
to
'em up,
work?
they're
I live
hot.
alone, by the way. So I was going to have Tammy answer that question. Now she's leaving.
Yeah. Sorry, I was gonna go put puppies up.
Yes, they can still hear you, Tammy, before
They're
we start.
hot.
Yeah. So that's a really good question because
They're like
it
little
all depends
hot
on what
water
your
bottles.
setup
They're
is
so
as
hot.
to how soon you can
They're hot,
safely
babe.
leave puppies alone. So
They're hot.
I'm going to talk a little bit, and I'm going to
James
tell
is
you
hot, and the
here a little
puppies
bit.
are
Somebody's
hot.
asking what are the essential stuff that you should have for breeding, and Cody has got set up. I actually did a video of this today. He's going to release this in a few days. He's got a really great deal on what we're calling an essential bundle. They're really all the things that you really should have, and it's at a 33% discount, so it's actually a pretty good deal. So let's see, where am I going? So yes, so the answer is, that's better lighting like that.
Yeah.
Good job.
Gets it out of my eyes.
So Tammy, the question was, at what point can you get your puppies where you don't have to mother them all day long?
At what point?
Yes.
Me mothering them?
At what
Well-
point can you leave the house for 8 hours? For 8 hours, go to
for
work.
8 hours. If I was going to work, well, I'd be coming at lunch. It wouldn't be a full 8 hours. But probably when they're a good week and a half old.
I'm saying 2 to 3 weeks. So you know, we've got slightly different opinion here. It depends on when you're going to leave them. So what Tammy's saying is, at like 10 days when their eyes are open, and if they're doing good, and you've got our system, that's imperative, by the way.
Yes.
Because our system,
Yeah, if you have our system, then that's when.
if you don't have our system, don't do it. You're going to have to mother these puppies.
And
I mean, I know it
that's on-
sounds like we're trying to push you to buy our product,
Yeah.
and we are. But we're doing it because
MyBreederSupply.com.
Yeah.
There's like 4 phone numbers on there that when you call and there's not an answer, go to the next phone number. But always, always leave a message and send a text because they have so many spam calls. And you know, spam calls won't leave a message. So then Cody thinks it's a spam call, so he's not going to pay any attention to that number. But if you leave that message and send a text, he's going to get right back to you ASAP.
So we've only got 16 thumbs up. Maybe Mackie can ask you for thumbs up. It should be more successful. Make them get thumbs
Oh,
up.
she's going to
Give a
double.
thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
That's right.
Yep.
You want thumbs
Okay.
up. So just back to this. The way this works is you buy from us a heat tape with a thermostat. And it sticks to the underneath of the floor of the cage, the crate. You put your puppies in that crate with mum. It's a crate you buy on Amazon, costs you like 65 bucks. The heated kit is around 200 bucks. You need the pig rail adapter kit. You're going to have like 225 bucks in it. Got a special going on where it's going to give you 35% off. But this works so well because mum.
Oh, we get texts from people saying, I finally got to sleep.
Yeah.
I finally got to go to the grocery store and come right back. You know, things like this. And it's
We
great.
leave, so the babies spend most of their time where the heat is, which is underneath the pig rail, where the heat is. And mum's not getting any extra heat, so she can be with her babies and not stepping up and getting down. So babies spend 90% of their time on the pig rail. Can't get squashed. Mum's not having a fit because she's there with the babies.
And she's laying right in the middle on a
Laying right in the middle.
cool floor there of that tray where the babies are nice and warm and protected under that puppy rail.
Exactly. And then the babies,
Pig rail,
the
excuse
babies
me.
are nursing when they get
Oh,
heat up mum.
well, what they do
Yep.
is they go crawling to mama. You'll get it if you have a litter of 6. 3 will be over there. Let's say 3 will be over there nursing. They get to nursing, get their tummies full. They fall off, go to sleep where mom's laying, and it's cool there. And they're thinking, oh, I got to go get warm. So they'll crawl over there where the other 3 puppies are laying there under that pig rail where that heat tape is, nice and warm. So they go there and snuggle up and get all warm, and then it wakes those babies up, and those babies will think, oh, I'm hungry. Where's mom? And they're finding mom. It's amazing how this works. They'll find mom, start nursing on her. So this is going on like it should go on. Mama nursing all the time, and
And they're not all hitting her at one time.
right, and they're not flooding out the nose.
Milk running out.
Like
because they don't
if
know when they
you
get fed
kept
next
them
time.
separated from
Yeah.
mom like some people do and keep them in a little incubator and mama separated, because that milk build up on her being not feeding puppies for 2 or 3 hours.
Yep.
Oh,
So-
she's got a build up, so,
that's
it just
a long
flushes the nose.
That's a long
Yeah.
answer to your question,
Right.
but really the answer is, I think certainly at 3 weeks, certainly you could go for 8 hours. What I would do is this: put a camera in there, a wireless camera that you can look at with your phone from a distance.
We do.
Yep.
Even though we're here all the time,
and,
we do.
and then if you know, what I would do is I'd start, if possible, coming home at lunchtime, just checking that everything's okay. One of the problems you've got is if you leave mum in there for 8 hours, she's going to pee and poop in the cage probably. So Kit, who is right now, she would never,
she's very
she'd
good
never
about-
poop in the cage,
Yeah.
but she'd probably pee, wouldn't she? If you had to for 8
Yeah,
hours,
if she had
she'd probably
to,
take a pee
she
in there.
would.
It's not the end of
But
the
you
world.
have to literally make her get out of the
Yeah.
cage,
Right. But
you
for
know,
us-
the first 2,
Yep.
3 weeks, because it's like, come on,
Yep.
you gotta go potty.
Yep. Okay. Oh, what, Erin Albright says there's no such thing as a velvet carrier, which is correct. Tammy, they're either velvets or not. That's right. On
Yeah.
average, and I think she said it.
I missaid it,
So
sorry.
The velvet.
You'll have a
litter
standard and you'll have the other velvets.
the velvet
It won't
that we
be-
had
I
was-
didn't mean that they would be carrier.
was a regular girl mated with a velvet,
Yeah.
big rope. And
Yeah.
we got a velvet big rope. Half are going to be velvets on average, half are going to be big ropes, and some are going to get both together. So yeah, you're right about that. So
I didn't mean to say it
right,
like that.
right.
It sounded like it, but
So let's have a look here. So that's that question answered. I recently had my lilac male. DNA test. The results showed only
Oh,
one
right here.
copy of CO. How should I go about this? Okay, so this is what I do. First off, is that animal genetics can get things wrong. They're very good about retesting. One thing that you can do is if this is a lilac, it has to have 2 copies of cocoa and it will have a red eye glow. If your dog doesn't have a red eye glow, animal genetics is probably right, it's in fact not a lilac. So you check for the red eye glow. I have never, ever, ever seen a dog that was that didn't have a red eye glow if it had 2 copies of CO. Now, you can get red eye glows with merles,
Merles.
right? So if you have a merle, that doesn't mean anything. But if you get and I don't mean this a fleeting, I mean demonic red eye glow.
it doesn't even have to have blue eyes to
Right.
glow red.
Right.
If it's a merle, it's going to glow red no matter
Yeah,
what color
right.
the eyes are.
Yeah, but if it's not a merle, you've got to be careful because if it's a cream dog, it could be a merle, you don't know it. But basically, any dog, non-merle dog that has a demonic eye glow that is completely obvious in a dark room, that is a double chocolate or a double testable chocolate dog. This is a good one. Fluffy Furry Frenchie says, have you ever, let's see if you get any good on the, they didn't listen to you on the thumbs up. Try
I think
again.
we got one from.
Did we?
One, maybe. Guys, a thumbs up.
Please.
Oh,
Come on.
she said, guys, a thumbs up.
Come on, I'm not going to answer any questions. Hey, we got a thumbs up. We've got
Guys
one
and
more.
girls.
All right. Have you ever stored plasma for puppies? If so, how long can you store freeze plasma for? I've bought plasma that's been frozen and stored it in the fridge, in the freezer. So you can, it's not, there's places that you can buy it that it's not crazy expensive. What are we talking about here? We're talking about plasma can help dogs that are having problems. If you give it to them, I think in the first, and I've got a video on this and I don't remember the details, but I think if you give it to them the first 48 hours, you can give it to them orally. After that, I think you've got to give them some injectable. But you know, I got some because I was worried about a liver was coming up. I didn't end up using it. So, you know, I still got it in the freezer. You certainly could collect blood, spin it down and get the plasma that way, but it'd be a lot of work. And I think it's much easier to go buy it personally, but certainly you could do that. You could spin it and do it yourself. So what you'd do is you'd spin it, get the red blood cells out, they'll be at the bottom, or just use a pipette, take the plasma off the top. You may have to spin it a second time to get all the red blood cells out if it matters, and there's your plasma. Ernest Petro says, do PG tests always? I'm not sure if that's a question or a statement. If it's a question, then we do PG tests anytime we're breeding. We do PG tests anytime we're getting ready for a C-section. And if you're saying you should always do that, we agree with you. And one more thing is what you should do is you should invest. If you're going to do much of this, it makes sense to go buy a progesterone machine. We've been selling this same machine, the one faux fine care, for the last 8 years. I've had a lot of history behind it. I really like the machine. I don't know what Cody's got one price for right now, $2,800, something like that. Seems like a lot of money, and it is, but you know what? You can bury a lot of money in progesterone tests. Some of these places are charging, $120, $150 a test. You might get 4 tests to get a dog pregnant and 2 more at the other end. So you might have 6 tests in a breeding, and $150, what's the math on that? What's 6 times 150? $1,000? Close.
Yeah.
19, yeah. So it's a third of the price of the thing right off the bat. And if it gets you a couple more puppies in a litter because you get your breeding done right, makes sense. Go on, Tammy, you got a question there?
Yeah. What that person said.
Right
here.
Are you jumping ahead? I work 50 miles away. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Natural Line says I work 50 miles away. We're talking about this leaving puppies.
Mm-hmm.
I work 50 miles away. Lunch break's out of the question. I will let her roam free and hope she feeds them. I think that's a horrible answer.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Tammy?
Yeah, if you saw my face earlier and I did, and my other granddaughter that's sitting on the other chair over there looked at me like, what? And I was like,
I think you're much better off leaving her. So here's what can go wrong. Anytime that you give a dog a free roam of your house, they may decide that the place that you got them set up for their puppies is not the place they like. They take the puppies out and scatter them all over the house. The puppies get cold and die. I don't like the idea of letting the dogs roam. I want my dogs to be with the babies 24/7 until they're weaned, and that's what we do. And they want, look, if we took a camera over to where Kid is right now, she is going to be upset if I keep her babies away from her for too long. She's not going to be happy, and you can see that she just likes the environment. She enjoys it. She wants to be in there. It's a safe environment for her. I think your idea about doing this, I don't like it. I would have a neighbor maybe. That if you have a camera, leave me in there.
have a camera, yeah.
Maybe
And
have
able
a
to
neighbor.
call them and
Or,
say, hey.
There's always teenagers who want to earn a little money. They're in your neighborhood, and these ones, they're
I don't
rich. You've got to
know.
pay them a lot of
What
money. But I mean, have you babysat? You've babysat before, right?
Yes,
What do you
yes.
get paid as a babysitter? What was the money on babysitting?
About $10 a kid.
Okay.
An hour.
Yeah. So do you think? You may happen to be in a situation where you've got some neighborhood person who you can rely on. You're happy
Or
to give a key.
sometimes I've heard of people taking their puppies to work with them and the mama dogs, and keeping them in their office area. If you're that lucky to get to
That's
do that,
better than leaving them by themselves.
Yeah, it's better than leaving them by themselves.
Yep.
But I mean, you have to work that out with your boss person. So it's just.
Yep. Okay. Let's go back
Notice I
here.
didn't say boss man.
Right.
I said boss person.
Boss man, boss woman.
Yeah, pups will be 15 days old when I go back to work. So I mean, that's what that's. I think that 15 days you need somebody to come at lunchtime.
Yeah.
I really do, and I think
Yeah.
that's the right answer for you.
Yeah.
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 And I mean, look. I'm probably going to lose you as a subscriber. I don't mean to be rude, but you've got to think about this stuff before you start breeding
There's
dogs.
too much going
Yeah,
on.
because you've got to,
Go wrong.
in our opinion, Tammy, if you disagree with me, say so. But in my opinion, you've got a responsibility for what you're doing.
Exactly.
And you're talking about lives of creatures that you're responsible for. So I think I'm giving you, I'm chiding you a little bit, and I don't mean to be, again, take this with a grain of salt, because it's not the way we want to come over this. But the point here is it's nothing like being prepared. And that means deciding the plan of attack on what's going to happen from the day you breed that dog until the day the puppies go home. You've got lots of things you've got to do. You've got to look after a pregnant dog.
Well, he just now answered a while ago. I will ask my family if they can help
There you
and
go.
wish for the best. That's
Good.
right. That's
Good.
right. That's a
There you
good
go.
answer.
That's a great
I
answer. Right.
love that answer
Yes.
for sure.
Yes, right. Rachel Brooks says, I'd rather use a different dewormer this time. So, the 2 dewormers that we use would be a parental paramate on EMX2 at 2 and 4 weeks, and then shift to Safeguard
At 6, 8, 10, 12, however long they're at your home, you just keep on deworming them every 2 weeks.
And the reason we shift to...
But
Go ahead.
with Safeguard, you remember you got to do that 3 days in a row, every 2 weeks.
We've got 22 people thumbed up now.
Okay, James, pay attention.
Elliot.
Oh, Leah did. I've got one of the grandkids. Okay,
Kit,
kids.
it's okay.
Gee.
Oh, Kit, we've had company today. Daughter had her birthday, so Different people have been walking in and out of the house, so she's letting everybody
We're
know.
over here. What was I talking about? We were talking about the wormer. Oh yeah, the reason
Yeah.
we shifted the safeguard to broader spectrum, it kills more stuff. And there's other things that do other things as well. Like for instance, if you've got, we typically give Tyrothirazil, which is a horse product for coccidia. We use that as a coccidia preventer at 2 weeks and 4 weeks. Good stuff. All right. Let's see, here where are we now? Let's have a look.
Sure, it's until I am able to quit and breed full time. Oh, okay.
We got ahead of ourselves here.
Right here. Breeding is a full-time job. Yes, it is. Rachel Brooks.
Rachel asked about the dewormer. So she says at 6 weeks old, can I use safeguard? Yes, you can.
Oh
It's
yeah.
no-brainer. You
As soon as
should.
they turn 6 weeks,
What's
you
the
can start doing
dosage?
that.
It's 1 milligram per 5 pounds body weight. So 0.2 of a cc or 0.2
It's
of
on,
a
it's
mil.
on the bottle.
It's on the bottle, yes.
Yeah. Kit, honey, Kit. It's Cody's got his
That-
cap on.
Yeah.
Cody
so,
number 2. I have 2 Codys in the family.
Yeah.
Kit, go tell her to hush.
Rachel Brooks says 1 mil per 5 pounds. That's right. You're exactly right. And George Rodriguez says definitely had a red eye glow, not molt. Then that dog is a liar. Tell Animal Genetics what's going on. They'll retest for you.
Is it a cream dog or is it
No, it's
lilac?
lilac dog. It's lilac,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it could be a platinum
Yes.
and be red eye glow.
So in Zaratha Superstairs, God, I got this all hacked up. Sorry about that. Says my mama dog would run outside, pee as quick as possible, run straight back into her box with puppies. I used your heat tape sister underneath it, and I recommend it. Thank you. It's right. It really, the problem is that everybody's pushing you to buy crap all the time. I mean, your emails are filled with junk with people want you to buy stuff. We're really doing the same thing here. We want you to buy stuff too, but our stuff absolutely does work. That's the difference. It really does work. All right.
Mr. Clean says, I have a pregnant female. I took her for an ultrasound. They said I see 2 pups. Do you think they might be more?
Yes.
Yeah, because they always hide behind each other. You could have, 2 more, 3 more.
Ultrasounds are the most unreliable things where they say there's puppies there and there aren't, and they're actually looking at poop. And
Or
then
they say that there's 2 and could be 4.
Yes, or they say there's
Or
4
more.
and there's 2. So, to me, what we do is we go use the relaxant pregnancy tests. They're available on My Breeder Supply. I think it's like $70 for 5 tests. They're very, very reliable. You do that first test with the blood. You have to pull some blood, but you do it at 30 days. If the dog's pregnant, it comes up the line. I've never had a false positive, not one single time. Doesn't tell you anything about how many puppies, but who cares?
You're having a
Because
C-section.
Having a C-section.
Now, if
you
you're
know?
having them naturally, you need to know how many
Then
puppies
go
are
get
there
an X-ray.
because
Right.
you want to make sure they have all the babies when they're finished, because there could be a baby in there and didn't come
So
out.
how do you find that out?
X-ray?
X-ray, when you do that?
I don't know. You tell me.
Day 50. Before that, the bones aren't calcified. They don't show up on X-ray. So that's why you can't do an X-ray at 30 days where you can do an ultrasound. But you can do an X-ray at day
X-ray.
50, and it's sometimes you get a really big litter, it's really crowded, and you're having a hard time making out all the skulls, and you might get it wrong by it, but okay. There's 10 puppies in, and you end up getting 11 or 9. It doesn't make any difference. You're having a C-section,
Yeah,
folks.
yeah.
Ernest Patron bought a PG machine, best investment I've ever bought.
Good.
I tested 10 times before she was ready at $60 each time. So the machine that we sell is $12 a test. It's a bit less than that, but you're right. It really does make sense, and it gets getting your time right in bigger litters, and it's worth its weight in gold. Yep. Oh, Nacho Line says I will be a lifetime subscriber. Well, look, I like you because you could take some criticism and come back with an answer, and
Hey, we
just
take
say-
criticism.
Absolutely, we don't get things right all the time.
Yeah, if we get something wrong, tell us.
That's what this is all about, isn't
We're
it?
not going to get aggravated.
No.
We're like, go, oh
No.
yeah, okay. Just like what's her name that said that there's no velvet carriers, and I didn't
Yeah.
mean to say that
Yeah,
where
right.
it sounded like that.
Right.
So yeah, there's no velvet carriers.
You know what they say, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. right? You know, what you want is you want information from people, and you want to, you don't just want to hear back what you think is correct. You'd like to hear contrary opinions so that you can then solidify.
House sitted and babysitted.
Yeah.
Those
Yes.
sweet little babies. And she videoed every morning those babies. And I mean, I loved it. I loved it because I
Yep.
missed them. And you can hear them now. They're rough and toughing with each other. They're at that age.
Holly's here.
6 weeks.
Holly's here. Who's getting the little boy?
Oh, okay.
And who's got the little boy?
That is Armani.
Oh, we put
well,
her up.
we put him
I can hear him screaming.
No,
back there.
that's his brother.
Okay,
That's
right. Yes.
No, that is Armani. That's
Yes.
doing that.
I did a video of
That noise
Armani,
that you hear in the background.
Holly, earlier on today with one of the grandkids. I think it was you had her. Yeah, I think that's Aaliyah had her arms. And I sent you a video. I was going to tease you that Aaliyah might be taking.
That's
the puppy
him.
around.
That
him.
is your baby,
That's your baby.
Armani. You hear him in the
Yeah,
background.
yapping away.
He's a little vocal every once in a
He's a
while.
cute little bugger.
He is cute. He's ornery. I sit and point my finger in his face, and he just growls and he'll. Brrr.
Fluffy Furry Fridges says, out of
Cute.
the Heel Vet 3000 or the Vet Chroma PG machine, which one would you recommend more? I don't know either of those machines, so I can't. I can tell you this: the machine that we sell, the One Faux Fine Care, it's a great machine. So, you know, I can compare that with vets who have the IDEX machine. I can tell you it stacks up just absolutely fine. So, all of these machines read slightly differently. Doesn't matter, because what you're looking for is a dramatic change in the readings from one day to the next that tells you that ovulation's occurred. And so it doesn't matter what machine you use, as long as it can show you that reliably, you're in the right place.
Is that get?
Rachel Brooks says, got it, 3 days of safeguard. Yes, correct.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yes, 3 days.
V paid 247 said, my vet said I only had 3 pups, ended up having 7. There you go.
Oh my word!
There you go.
That's
There
yeah.
you go. There you go. There you go. So this is the problem.
That's
is that,
4 more than
Yeah.
what they said.
Yeah, right.
That's crazy.
Yes, right.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a shocker.
Get Money Bullies 239 says, what if the relaxant tests are out of date? Are they any good still? Probably, but I don't know. It's like, this is the interesting
Sorry.
thing about prescription medicines, right? You know, antibiotics, things like that. So it's got a label that says expiration date. Of course, you know, the milk that you buy, it's got an expiration date on it, right? Is it still okay to drink milk after its expiration date?
Yes, I've done it.
Sometimes.
You better smell of it first before you drink it.
The expiration date is the date that the Walmart's
Yes.
not going to sell it anymore. It's not the day that you can't consume it. It's still okay. And I can tell you this.
I
I've
think it
looked
was
at
5
this.
days out of date, and
Yeah, probably.
it still tasted good.
Fine,
so.
yeah. So, but I can tell you this. I have looked at this specifically for antibiotics. That was a question that I wanted answered. And there is actually scientific studies on this. It was done by the government for antibiotics that were used by soldiers and stockpiles of those. And the conclusion was that stuff that was 25 years out of date was still just about as good as the day it was manufactured. So, with things like antibiotics, I don't think there's any problem at all. Now, there are other things that might not be true of. You know, if
Right.
you've got things that settle out, they better get stirred up properly, like things like Safeguard. But I would think that Safeguard, the dewormer, I'm sure it has an expiration date on it, but I bet you it's good for years.
There was something that we were using. I said, I don't think that's working
It was
right
Safeguard.
anymore. Was
It
it?
Safeguard.
Yeah.
And she-
So
Tammy
we
made me buy-
changed it. Yeah.
That made me buy some more.
No.
I don't know about, you know, I can tell you what I do. I probably go buy another set. And
So
I run.
everybody's saying no sound. What's the deal?
That was just whenever there was.
Yeah, right, we're good.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Good. I would go buy another set. I'd do a test side by side, and then you'd know whether or not you could continue to use the ones that were expired and keep the other ones somewhere cool and dark. You know, that's what I do, because nobody's going to know. the
Don't
answer.
leave it in the garage where it's warm,
No,
or
no.
you know,
Right.
make sure it's in the house, in the laundry room, or in the pantry.
Oh, okay, sounds is back.
Yeah,
Somebody's, right.
yeah, Sally says it's back.
Benny Hood says, we do an X-ray about 56 days for accuracy and counts. Yes, good idea, right. So, I mean, we don't do that because we're always having a C-section. Well, that's not true. If we've got a dog that we're not sure that it's pregnant, it's not showing, then we will go do an X-ray just to convince ourselves that there is not a puppy in there that's hiding.
Yeah, well, there can be a phantom pregnancy too.
Absolutely. I mean,
I don't think we've talked about phantom pregnancies.
no, well,
I mean, they can have a milk line. Tell
us about phantom pregnancy, Tammy.
They can definitely go through the whole thing like they're fixing to have puppies, probably even go into labor as well.
Yeah.
And they don't have a puppy.
Well, I've heard stories of dogs that go to labor, have milk, and they go do a C-section and no puppies in there.
Yeah.
That'd be a bad day, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, especially
Spend all that money and put that dog through that for having no puppies?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
No, that's not
No.
good.
No.
I mean, you'd think you'd be able to palpitate a single puppy at that age.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that I've been in situations where, well, I remember one time, quite some time ago, where I said to Dr. Fox, I said, I don't think she's got any puppies in there. He palpitated and said, there's a puppy in there. And I said, I don't know. And he said, well, let's do an X-ray. Do an X-ray. There's a puppy in there. Yeah, so, right.
And then sometimes, what is it when the puppy goes away? When you see that the dog...
Absorbed.
Yeah, the mama can absorb those puppies, yeah. Yeah. That happens every great
Fluffy
once.
French is asking about the heat tape. Do you have to stick the heat down? I'll be using my X-Whelp
Heat tape
box.
down. Do you have to stick the tape down?
So the tape comes with a sticky side. It's got a...
Very sticky.
It's 3M, really good tape, metal tape. It's got a side you peel off, kind of a paper backing, and you need to get your crate tray cleaned with some rubbing alcohol, get it completely oil-free, and it sticks down and it ain't coming up. So I've got people say, can I remove it and put it on another crate? No, you'll just mess it up. Once it's down, it's down. You need to get it positioned in the right place. We've got video that shows you how to put it up. It takes you 5 minutes to install it. It's easy. Right, so I think this gives me a good point, a good place to stop here for a second and talk about that special that Cody's got going.
Oh, yeah. That's with mybreedersupply.com.
My Breeder Supply, yeah. The code is 30% symbol off, OFF, to get it. It's called the Breeder Starter Bundle. It is $450. It is $677 worth of stuff for $450. It gives you a 33% discount. And you get either one of our incubators, the big or the small. You get our heat tape system to put on your crate. You get the pig grill adapters so that you can put a pig grill in it. You get our puppy care kit, which has got all kinds of really great stuff.
You need that puppy care kit. That's nice.
And you get a couple other things, like you get a stainless steel feeding bowl and you get some tags for your puppies. It's really, the only other thing that you would like to have that's quite a bit more money would be an auction machine. But all of that stuff I just mentioned, we use it.
That puppy care kit, that has the feeding tube in it too,
That's right? It's got goat's milk, it's got feeding bottles, it's got a digital scale, it's got a stethoscope, it
has that little nipple that's
silicone nipple for the puppies.
Yeah, so that's great.
It's got
that's a great buy.
It's got stainless steel surgical forceps. It's got stainless steel scissors. It's got. I mean, there's a whole video on that. It'll show up in the next few days. But honestly, if you don't have this stuff, I think it's for instance, our incubator, normal incubator is like $315. You're buying that for around $200, and that's it's a great incubator. It's completely portable. You can run it on 12 volts. You can run it on 110. You can run it on 240. It comes with all the adapters to do all that. I talked to a guy the other day who was in Manhattan Island, New York, and said, Tammy, you want to have a guess what his C-section for you was going to be? Come up with a number.
6,000.
You got it right on the nail. $6,000. Newark, and he found that out from this channel right here, from this, what we're doing here. Somebody chimed up and says, I get mine done in Newark.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And in Newark, it was like $650, $700.
Yeah.
It's an hour away.
Yeah. That's a completely different.
We saved that guy
crazy.
$5,350. So he paid for his incubator. So anyway, the answer is
take a look out for that. It's really a great deal. It won't last very long. Cody typically runs these things for about a week. He probably won't last any longer. We had a deal going on Just the Incubator here about a month ago. There are quite a few people who called me up. They're upset because they missed it. But you know, if it's gone, it's gone. So take advantage of it. Sheena Sales Thrifty Treasure says, hello everybody, love your channel, first time live. Hey, great. Well, thanks for joining us. Give us a thumbs up. We've got 27 now. There's my thumbs up girl right there. My other thumbs up girl is asleep with a puppy on her lap. Aaliyah. That one's worthless. That's why we've got twins. If we lose one of them, it doesn't matter. We're hoping it's Aaliyah. How much mineral oil should I give a pup? I think we're talking about a pup that's probably constipated. So the answer is not very much. So you've got to be a little bit careful with mineral oil because you can get them, they can puke and they can cough it up into their lungs. So I think the thing about mineral oil is to use a dropper and put it depends on the size of the puppy, but don't flood a puppy ever with mineral oil. Just give a little bit of mineral oil. You can use olive oil as well, by the way. So, you know, it's a great thing to get puppies moving if their bowels aren't going. An enema is a great way of doing it too. Just give them a warm soapy enema. Mix up a few drops of Dawn dishwashing soap into some warm water, take a syringe, and slowly push it up their butt up to 3 times a day. That almost always gets puppies moving that have got blocked up.
Somebody's saying, how much
Modi Score just gave us a thumbs up. My husband and I love your channel. Well, thank you. Right. Appreciate that. Jesse Ortez, in California, it costs less than $1,000 for a C-section. Not everywhere in California, I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you that. In California, it can be pretty damn expensive.
Yeah.
So out here in Oklahoma, our C-section costs vary between a low end of around 500.
Kit.
A low end of 500 and a high end of about 1,600. So you can shop around and you can certainly shave $1,000 off a C-section. And I think the secret to this is to find somebody who other people are recommending. You don't want crappy, you want somebody who's done plenty of these. You don't want somebody who's only done 5 of them. You want somebody who's done 50 of them or 100 of them. So ask your fellow breeders who they recommend. If you're in Oklahoma, we've got, how many vets do we have, Tammy? 5 vets?
Yeah, we've got 5 vets that we
completely
call
confident with. And then there's one that we haven't used because they're a bit further away, but there's Duran Animal Hospital, Dr. Mills, who a lot of people from Dallas use, and he's probably the least expensive of the whole lot. And he does, he probably does 5 a day. He does a huge number of C-sections. So I Love Pizza pays $5.50 in California. Great. Well, so you know, you might tell us where that is in California because people in California will see this and they'd like to know where that is. So tell us where that is and we'll pass it along. Sheena Sales says, I love watching your car live streams. Yeah, we haven't done those in a while, and there's some reasons why we turned it into this instead. The problem with the live streams, they weren't live, and so the problem is if you answered a question, you weren't getting a response for a few days. Whereas here, you ask a question, and we get a response immediately, and other people chime in as well and give us more information. So that, if, for example, would be I Love Pizza says, I pay $550 for a C-section in California. That's great information for somebody in California, and we wouldn't know that. So Hellboy Performance says, definitely over 4K. There you go. So there's your extreme. So I don't know where Hellboy is, but if you're in California, it'd be nice if you knew where the one is for $550, because with our incubator, crap, you can go...
Oh, you can go spend the night at the motel and wait.
Yeah. You can go on a 10-hour trip.
Yeah.
Puppies would be fine in the incubator on a 10-hour trip. No problem at all.
Yeah, if it was far away that you needed to...
So here's Molly Squad says, wow, in New York they charge $4,000 to give my Frenchie a C-section. You need to go to New York. Mm-hmm. Now, if you look at our previous live stream from about a month ago, you'll find out who that was in New York because it's in that live stream.
That Thrifty Treasures said that they're in Mustang, Oklahoma. Hello, Okie.
Oh, they're close by.
Yeah.
We used to live right down by there. We used to live in Yukon. Mm-hmm. D. Dover, coming up on our head, Tammy.
I want to know.
So we're going to run through these real quick.
Yeah, what causes
absorption?
Yeah.
What causes absorption of puppies in a pregnant female? What do you think the answer on that?
I've
got one answer.
Okay.
They did an ultrasound and got it wrong. They were looking at turds inside the dog, and they said that ball they thought was actually a puppy when it wasn't. I think that's one of the reasons. How can I back that up? I can't. So
Well, when one of our female, I was trying to think who it was, and we thought, yep, she's pregnant. She's got a milk line. Yep, she looks like she's got a belly. And then all of a sudden, a week later, we were like, what happened?
yep.
And we didn't do not an X-ray, ultrasound. And
I think the more relevant question to this is, what can you do to stop that from happening? So what are some of the things that could cause
vitamins
this?
and
What's
your
stress?
Oh,
I think if you've got a dog that's in this, I mean, this happens in
what
women.
causes it? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, what I'm saying is they're saying, what I'm saying is, what can you do to try to avoid having absorbed puppies?
Yeah.
Because that's the relevant question, right? So I think the answer is this: good diet, vitamins, prenatal, folic acid 5 milligrams, exercise, the beginning part of their
Make sure
pregnancy.
she's being pampered.
Pamper her, right?
Yeah.
Don't get her stressed.
All right.
Don't get her so she's being beaten up on other dogs. Do all the things that you do if you were pregnant, right? If you're
Or
pregnant,
if your wife was
or
pregnant.
if your wife is pregnant,
Or girlfriend or whatever.
you're gonna what? How do you want to be treated? It's not day, hopefully not soon, where you get pregnant. There you go. That's what you want to be, right? You want to be pampered, right?
Pampered.
That's what you do for your dog.
Pampered.
Pamper your dog. So,
Every
so
girl
it's an
got
exciting time. Pamper your dog. So I don't think that there's anything else I can tell you.
Yep.
Here's a good one.
What is it that we give the mama dogs the day they're
Folic acid, 5 milligrams.
Yeah.
Every
Give
day.
them folic acid.
Why do you do that? Helps stop birth defects. We do it in women too. So it's recommended these days that all women
do
take.
that like you do your vitamins?
Yeah, right.
Every day.
So this is a good one here.
But that's
so
only when you think when she is pregnant.
John Malone says New York,
Or when you're
$700 at
breeding
a
her.
regular repo vet, $5,400 at an emergency vet.
Crazy.
But insurance paid 90% less deductible. I'm surprised about the insurance, but that's interesting to know. But here is the takeaway for me on this. Don't get into a situation where you have to use an emergency vet. Most of the time, you should know enough about this that you can take the puppies 24 hours before whelp safely. It's about having a progesterone machine, knowing what the signs are, and all these things. So it's very unusual for us to have C-sections in the middle of the night. We did have it in kit, but we had the vet lined up, and it cost us an extra $60 or something, so it didn't really matter. But
I don't like doing that.
no, I don't like doing it either because
it happened. Here's
what
out of our control.
Here's what I really hate.
Because I like to sleep at night.
What I really hate would be
And so does my vet.
having to pay $5,400 for a freaking C-section. I don't like that. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I tell you something else about having an emergency C-section. You get the youngest person in the whole business who's doing the C-section. Here's the one who's being woken up at 3 in the morning. The old dude
Well,
like
both
me.
of them were there when we went.
Yeah, I know, but my point here is that you're not going to get the really experienced vet if there's a young one around.
Oh, if you're talking about the emergency ones, okay.
You're going to get the one who might have done 2 of these before. It's notoriously bad experiences that I hear about all the time for people who go for emergency C-sections. So, I'm not saying that they don't have their place, they do. But if you can avoid
Progesterone
it,
machine, doing a reverse progesterone
exactly right.
is
Yes,
great to
exactly.
have
Right.
to be able to know
Right.
when your female's going to have babies.
So John says he used Trupanion for his insurance with a breeding rider. So that's interesting to know. I didn't know that could happen. So that's very interesting if that's the case. Right, okay. All right. Let's see, V-Paid says, I pampered my girl and she threw me 7. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go, good
All
for you.
healthy on our first litter, yeah,
Folic acid helps, I love pizza says folic acid helps prevent cleft palates.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
yeah.
John Merlot said a PGT plateaued at 5. So this can be a problem. The problem is that there's no single thing that can definitively say you're in the right place, but it's a combination of how many days she's been since you mated her, what the progesterone level was when you mated her, what the progesterone level is now, what her temperature is, whether she's eating food, whether she's nesting, whether she's panting, how she looks, how she's behaving. They all figure into getting the C-section time right, and it's definitely an art.
Here's someone asking about the famous brindle question. Depends if you breed to a non-brindle, half of your litter will be brindles.
Yeah, so Stephanie Deegan asked that question, and we're about done here because we're coming up with the hour mark. But the problem you have here with the brindle is a single copy of brindle will show up, not just in the DNA, not just in the genotype, it'll show up in the phenotype, the physical look of the dog. And so the problem you have with brindle is that you're probably going to get half the litter that are going to show brindle if you breed to a non-brindle dog. If you breed to another brindle dog, 75% of your dogs
all
are going to
brindles.
brindle. Well, 75%.
Well,
If they're both brindle carriers, 25% won't get brindle as well. Is what that amounts to, yeah. A V paid 247. Can you give enema to clear them out even if they are pooping regularly? Why would you do it? I wouldn't. So here's the thing about anything that you do. Well, I don't know how many of you have had problems. I'm going to go into some detail here. So we went to Italy, right? It's a 24-hour trek to get there, sitting on a damn plane. Now, my bowels are as regular as clockwork until
Nobody
you
wants
sit
to
me
hear
on a
about your
plane.
bowels.
She's going like, what are you doing here? Everybody's looking at me. But the truth of the matter is bowels are funny things. They are as regular as clockwork until you start messing around with them. If you go have anesthesia, a lot of you won't poop when you come out of anesthesia, and they won't let you leave the hospital until you poop properly. They want a BM, a bowel movement. So the problem with bowels is that they normally, for most people, are very regular. And the moment that you muck up that system, you can really get. So I wouldn't muck around with a dog that's pooping regularly. I would be saying, I'm glad the dog's. Oh, Tammy's going to tell me about dog here. What? Go.
Yeah.
All right.
Finished?
So we're finished. Now Tammy's going to try and sell somebody a dog.
He's been sleeping, so his ears go out that way.
So that was interesting because I showed a video of us taping his ears up. It took 24 hours, didn't it?
Yeah,
His ears,
yeah.
They're still not quite up.
Look at the wrinkles, that natural rope he has. Look at his nares. Look at his ear set. I know it's flattened out now because he's been taking a nap.
He needs to have his ears.
He's been with his mama. Right. Yeah. So he is available. He's 6 weeks old today, and he is AYAT. He carries Fluffy. He carries Testable, he carries Blue, and he carries Coco. So he can make, with the right female, he can make new shade Isabellas, he can make full Fluffies, new shade Isabellas and tans, because he's got tan points. He can make lilac and tans, he can make rojos and tans, he can make blue and tans, and he can make chocolate and tans. So he would be a fantastic addition to your program, and he is available. The other two are already sold. Mackie's got little Armani.
Holly's watching right now.
Yeah.
Holly,
show little Armani.
This is your little Armani. He is a beautiful little dog.
Yeah, yeah. And
he's
this little girl that Aaliyah has she's going to Fort Worth, Texas.
Hi, Leah.
What are you doing? We
Get
don't
to
know
wake
her
Leah
name.
up to come over here and show us the puppies.
Yeah. But this is the little boy that is available. He's looking for his new home. It's him. He's nice, short, and stocky. A lot of nice wrinkles. Like I said, that natural rope, that top knot he has, and these ears are going to go up. He's been babying with mama for a bit. So they're fixing to start being weaned.
His ears were really clunky.
Yeah.
You see this in bigger puppies where they tend to have floppy ears. And we taped up 24 hours.
Squeaking.
It made it come up, and he needs another second taping. The second taping will fix it. Because
he's sweet.
also, Holly's little boy.
No, that's the little girl.
Oh,
that's
Holly's
the little boy.
Holly's little boy. His ears were flopping down, and it took 24 hours, and that's what we got.
Yeah.
He may get a second go. What we do is we just tape the ears up like that, just for.
And they'll stand up like this.
He may. I don't think he needs it. We may give him a second round of it.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Yeah. But that's his beautiful coloring. He's a sable.
Yep.
But he carries that testable chocolate to make that new shade Isabella and Rojo and Tans.
All right.
So, and full fluffies because he's fluffy carrier.
So next
So call me at 580-799-1910. And also, if you are looking for full fluffies, I think Cody still has some full fluffies. He also has fluffy carriers. I know they're probably all lilac and tans. So give Cody a call, which his phone number is on mybreedersupply.com. And remember, I said, anytime you're calling us and we don't answer, leave a voicemail, send a text message because of all the spam calls that have been going on. So we know that it's somebody important calling us if you're leaving your message and sending us a text.
So we've missed a few lives because we've been away. We're here
Oh, yeah.
every Sunday. We plan on doing 8 o'clock lives. And we've got some great bloodlines in our dogs. And apparently we've actually got some pretty good bloodlines as well in our family because of these two beautiful. Yeah. So we're pretty proud of
We're missing some of our other grandkids.
We are. We've got quite a few grandkids.
Yeah.
We're pretty proud of all of our grandkids.
Yeah, and they're just as pretty.
Yes. But the favorite ones are the ones that are here right now. Yes.
Oh, James, don't you say that.
Not true. No, we don't like you. Oh, kid, it's fine.
Kids
All right,
saying I'm
we're
the
signing
favorite.
off. Again, thanks for everybody for watching. We'll see you next weekend. If you've got some problems, you need some help, you can call me 580-799-2873. Watch out for the special code. It is really worth getting. You're going to save yourself $250 on a product. Well, $230.
And
But anyway.
is he running specials on our studs too?
Oh, well, he's brought prices
All
down.
the time,
Yeah,
yeah.
All right, bye, everybody. See you.
Bye.